We all know and love the classic PC game, The Sims 2. But today I want to talk about the weird portable games that came out for the different handheld consoles. I was playing on The Sims 2 DS and I was like, why is this game so different to any other version? Then I found out the stories are all different from each other on all the different consoles. So the Game Boy Advance, the DS, and who would have thought, hello old friend, the PSP. Initially, what all these games have in common is that they're based in Strange Town, a town a lot of people will recognise from the PC game. Truth seekers move to Strange Town hoping to discover the secrets the town holds. Do aliens live among us? So the missing Sims mysteriously appear here. In this town, nothing is what it seems. The mystery of Belagoth is one of the things that comes to mind to many people. Strange Town is so recognisable from its barren desert landscape and broken spacecraft in a crater. Strange things happen here, hence the name. Alien abductions to the wacky inhabitants, from the Smith family, where she be marrying the alien that impregnated her father, Olive Spectre with a graveyard in a garden. It's implied that she has murdered all of those people, and her son Novus Subject, who had been adopted by the Beaker family, and they perform experiments on him. The game also includes a military family, the Grunts, with the weird mishmash of the strange pre-made characters in this town. For me, it makes me feel uneasy and almost gives you the Twin Peaks vibes, or something like a hidden government facility with all these experiments, the military, the murders, the science and the aliens, which definitely is a feeling that's carried over through to the portable versions of this game. So I'm going to play through all these games so you don't have to. Warning, just a word of warning, warning. This video is going to have all the spoilers in for these games, so caution. Stop watching if you want to play these games yourself. Now join me as I venture into the weird town that is Strange Town. I'm going to start by talking about the absolute classic that is Sims 2 DS. Because this is the first time I'm playing through this, it's all new to me. I'm like a baby playing it with fresh eyes. Released in autumn 2005, developed by Kryptonite and published by EA and Maxis, we are left stranded in Strange Town. Here, Strange Town is just a single road leading in and out. There's a hotel, a shop, a pub, a town hall and a jail. So, how did we get here? It turns out we've got car troubles and end up chatting with Jebediah F's Jerky, who looks like bloody Nebucracker. Get off my property! He is going to fix up our car and says we should stay in the hotel. Apparently the last owner walked out and we left a mysterious note stating the citizens of Strange Town need your help. One thing leads to another and we become the manager of a hotel. But we don't get paid enough for this. Of course, we start the game on 11th of January 2000, so we can buy this ghost portrait for some reason, and I think it makes the ghost fly around the town. I don't know what it's doing, but it's cute. So this game isn't like your standard Sims game. The whole needs system has been scrapped and replaced with a sanity bar, which will refill if we eat or sleep, or beat some meat. But if you go into the desert, your sanity bar will go down really quick, and then you'll get abducted by aliens and you'll end up walking differently for a while. But that'll soon change as soon as you go to sleep, so night night. Basically, we're just playing a hotel simulator though. So first of all, we got our first punter, Frankie Fusilli, your typical Italian mobster. He's got a couple of tasks he wants us to do, so he gets us to deliver an explosive disguised as a present to the local MP, Honest Jackson. The present explodes, we have to calm him down, but to be honest, he's just had an assassination attempt on him, so of course he's angry. Now, Frankie Fusilli wants us to build a vault for his Wonga. So naturally we time travel so we can progress with the story. Entering the vault, there's a machine where you can literally print money, and Frankie's got like lots of money at the back, and you can take 100 simoleons if you want, but I'm not gonna, because I don't know what happens and I'm scared. Then Frankie, he asks us to bury a wriggling suitcase in the desert. Okay, Frankie, of course, anything for you. But when you think about it, the more and more you think about it, why is the suitcase wriggling? And why do we not see Honest Jackson for the rest of the game? Was he in the suitcase? This is a kid's game, but sure, we'll bury it for you. We take it to the desert, and this FBI woman takes it from us. But okay, do you know that Honest is in there? Where is Honest? Are you going to let him out, or you... What's she done with him? Insane antics. What's with this woman? Our next guest we might recognise from the counter in the Herbs thrift emporium place. Avacadabra. Crazy stuff going down on the Sims 2 wiki though. Why would you do that, lad? Ava. Is it Ava? Ava? I guess it goes with Avacadabra. So it would be Ava, wouldn't it? Ava asks us to excavate the bovine shrine. Upon entering the old tomb, Ava asks us to go out and buy her some lippy. And it's all mad because you're looking around at the other guests of the hotel and they're all in like a weird trance for this weird cow statue. But okay, Ava is having the time of her life. We then get a mysterious call about a pyramid in the desert. When we go and see this pyramid, we talk to this mummy and we have to dig up his sarcophagus and put it in a room. But I swear to God, this mummy fella, he's just walking around the hotel, just moaning. But God bless him, he is living his best life. Or should I say, afterlife. But basically, he's told us that, go on, commit a hate crime and smash up the bovine shrine. Alright. Slay, I guess. So, our final guest in our penthouse is the one and only Optimum Alfred. What a lad. A face only a mother could love. We have this rat cave at this point and we put on our superhero rat costume and it defeats the robots and shit. And when we tiptoe along, it's kind of funny because it has a lot of funny noise. So there's this fella, Lord Mole, and we have to convince him to stop gnawing through the satellite because Optimum Alfred wants to watch telly. So I don't know why I was spraying him with the water and then calming him down, but I guess I just needed to spray him and walk off. But calm down, mate. Calm down, I guess. So I guess Optimum Alfred's goal is to take over the world, which isn't meeting up with Emperor xxxxx. I think that's how you pronounce it. He's the resident alien who plans to take over the world too. And so he gives you a big juice, which I just realised is made out of parasites, which I just thought was boba to destroy the satellite. Slay. Here we are, the final face-off with Optimum Alfred. Beat my meat, let's get prepared. Okay, I died. Right, okay, one more time, let's get prepared. Punch off, yeah, punch off, beating my meat, yeah. Alright, I can definitely do this. Right, one more time. One more, last chance saloon, let's have a go. Well, so I couldn't finish that final face-off. Optimum Alfred, you can just have that poolside area. I'm not going back up there. I just can't do it. It's all yours. Have as much fun as you want up there. Invite some lady robots. Have a good time. But you can stay there. As long as you don't come downstairs, I'm happy. This is just a wacky, eerie game. Some of our old favourites are here. Giuseppe, Dusty Hog, Misty Waters. Although they're not as handsome as they were in the Herbs. This was my first time experiencing a lot of these characters, but some familiar faces from the PC game, such as Tank Grunt and Johnny Smith, and he collects spaceship parts, which it says that it's probably to build his own ship and return home. That's not the same as in the PC game, is it? It's good to see the guy that we cosplayed in the Herbs too. Old Salty's long lost brother, Peppa Pig. Oh here! Salty baby! Old Salty's long lost brother, Peppa Pig. It says he disappeared in sea after being abducted by aliens while they were fishing. And then it also says Peter's in Strange Town searching for a few good oarsmen to join him in a fool's errand. Well, now we know where he went. The way you converse with people in the game is also strange. You learn what to say with what gesture they're doing. But it's weird, they do weird things, like you have to restrain them when they're feeling loopy, and it's the same as the woohoo symbol, so I mean that's a bit, oh, what's going on? And then you calm them down when they're mad, and oh my god, when these fellas are feeling romantic and they're leaning back and they just want to flirt. But because it runs on real time, it makes the game hard to play in one sitting if you don't want to time travel. But it's an easy game to play if you want to experience the strangeness of Strange Town. But if you do travel back in time instead of forward, this will happen. There's so much fun stuff to do away from the storyline, like doing this alien autopsy thing and painting terrible paintings, putting them in the gallery, and just doing a bit of housekeeping, general housekeeping, keep hoovering up. You know? You can also gamble in the casino, have this quick game, I think it's keel hauling. Or you've got Bigfoot in the basement. Or you can just get the best hotel rating. What a classic game, combined with the emptiness of such a grand hotel and the vastness of the map with not much going on. It's almost like going up to Blackpool in off season and seeing the old Victorian hotels, all empty and derelict. It reminds you of a time that once was. But when was the heyday of Strange Town? There's one road leading to a vastless desert with a crashed spacecraft and some weird astronauts thing. An oasis as well. Not the drink. Also, the fact you can sleep in Mama Hog's bed is kind of fun. There's something unsettling about the character's design, such as the killer robots. They are terrifying. And also the aliens, they feel off. And also the characters, they're designed in almost an uncanny valley way. It's a wacky game, but in the way that it leaves you asking questions like, what the heck happened here? Why is the pub so busy when there's only like 10 people here? Why do I own a hotel? It's got very Twin Peaks vibes. I know it unlocks a core memory for a lot of people, probably just from hearing the starting theme. Whilst researching, I found this article. When it came time to develop the final game in the Kryptonite franchise, The Sims 2 on Nintendo DS, McDevitt wanted to take the weirdness to the next level, but even EA had its limits. The original concept for the game would see players take on the role of an amoeba floating around the Sims' body. To influence their Sims, players would run around the different bodily organs and punch the pituitary glands to elicit a response or prompt them to seek sustenance. This pitch was ultimately deemed too strange for the Sims franchise, even with aliens and ghosts already roaming around. But McDevitt was quick to develop a new idea on the ride home from the pitch meeting. At the time, he was midway through watching the British classic Fawlty Towers and realised a hotel will be the perfect setting for the next Sims game. Well, it all makes sense now. Just to think that the creator of such a classic game was inspired by the show starring John Cleese is like hilarious to me. John Cleese, funny comedian, British, Faulty Towers, Basil Faulty. But I digress. Overall, I love this game and I would recommend it to everyone. The Sims 2 for Game Boy Advance. I very much dislike this game. I had to use a walkthrough constantly. I didn't have a clue what I was doing, and I still don't have a clue what happened. It is insane. I didn't know this was a game until about a month ago, but alright, here goes nothing. Again, developed by Kryptonite and published by Maxis in 2005, our old friend Daddy Big Bucks is producing a reality show called Strange Town, and our character is starring in the show. And I guess we're the only ones who know about it. At the beginning and the end of each episode, we see the Goth family watching the show, and it's kind of a fun cameo to see them. Daddy Big Bucks has given us an earpiece so he can contact us, and we're basically just his general dog's body. The game has 12 episodes, however the final episode you have to connect to another Game Boy Advance to play, so I'm not sure what it's about. I'm just going to talk about a few of the episodes as they're so long-winded and it's just not it. We have to cut to commercial breaks in the middle of episodes, which are kind of annoying, but they're also fun. They're like one's attempting to drive a car and then the other one's getting chased by some massive drink. But I've racked up about 15 hours on this game and I'm still rubbish at it, so that's that. There are also some hidden wants and errands we can run within the episodes to get 100%, but who can really be arsed, am I right? You can also purchase plot twists that will unlock a couple of chapters, and you can also purchase more conversation options. First, we have to create our sim, of course. It's going to be good old Pooh again, and look at this funky skirt. We have to then choose an aspiration, which can be friendly, romantic, or intimidating. I guess I'm going to be intimidating because I'm just being me. We have to play through all the episodes to unlock the final one. Daddy Big Buck starts us off by talking to Dusty Hog, buying some furniture and getting some alien off our toilet. Then we've got to clean the radioactive toilet that's been left behind by that alien. And I mean, starting off ever so hopeful. The first episode is called Buried by the Mob. Of course, it's involving our old friend, Frankie Fusilli and Jimmy the Nick. We've got to go around all the houses to complete this episode, like becoming mates with Frankie Fusilli's daughter. But to do that, we have to distract Giuseppe with a paddleball because he's been hired to follow Frankie's daughter. And what have they done to my boy? Bloody hell, he was so handsome. But look at him now. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about this episode as it's the only bit of airtime that Giuseppe gets. A strange episode is What Digs Beneath. There's just rats everywhere and it's kind of scary because the rats are huge. Well, turns out it's just Lord Mole. He wants to make an invention to be lazy. So you gotta gather some shite together, get Jimmy the Neck to rip off a piece of metal for us. Whoa, love a strong man. Get some plutonium, some spikes off a cactus, and you give it to Lord Mole. And now we're playing whack-a-mole with humans as well. I really don't know what's going on. It's just another wacky hijink to add to the list of wacky hijinks. The next episode that I want to talk about is called Brand New Scent, and it is about a brand new scent. Kaylee Wintercrest has got a new perfume. It has all the eligible bachelors of Strange Town after her, and the mayor, Honest Jackson, orders us to foil all of the other fellas' declarations of love for her. Sancho is giving her a desert fuzz beetle, and for the life of me I couldn't find it. Turns out it's just in his bloody garden, and how funny it looks. So we spray it with a water gun and it turns into an ugly creature. Then we ruin the other gifts by putting poo everywhere. And of course, Emperor xxxxx is in love with her too. He wants some makeup, so he's not green anymore, so we get him some makeup, but of course it is 19 years out of date, so when he puts it on he becomes invisible. And then we get Optimum Alfred to destroy the perfume. I don't know what's going on in this game at all. Another horrific episode is the new cola. Basically, Tank's got this whole script about the Coca-Cola, and obviously it's something to do with Daddy Big Bucks and his money-making scheme. Let me read the script. Hey all, who's thirsty? Just so happens I've got a 6-pack of new Cherry Guava King Chug Chug Cola. With 12 inessential minerals and sediments, Cherry Guava King Chug Chug has been mentioned by 9 out of 10 doctors as having some sort of effect on the personal health. Chug Chug is yum yum! We have a sip, don't we? And then we shrink down to become tiny people, and then we have to fight giant ladybirds. It's fun and short. This is the only episode that I actually enjoyed. Anything where you're tiny is so much fun for me. Tank Grunt is also tiny with us, and he's a bloody right wimp, so we have to intimidate him to follow us. In the end, we drink the cola again and become big, but I mean the ladybirds are horrific. I'm scared of bugs anyway, so I don't know why I like this level, but it's not because of the bugs, I guess it's just being small. Kind of gives me the vibes from the Sparks levels in Spyro, but top-notch episode. It's the only one I actually enjoyed. There was this mummy. I dislike this episode. I really dislike this episode. So we have to find people's missing items, including Bigfoot's teddy bear and some kidnapped bitch called Penelope. They've been stolen by the mummy, so we have to intimidate the mummy to get into his tomb. When I tell you this took me hours, I'm not exaggerating. I don't know how you talk to people on here, it just confuses the heck out of me, but fine. Once that's done, there's all these killer flies and we've got to get some repellent so we can save Penelope, but she's already escaped. Waste of bloody time. The final episode, it all came to an end. In a scheme for higher ratings, Daddy Big Bucks decides a tragedy should befall Strange Town in this season-ending cliffhanger. Finally, we're at the end. The end is in sight, the light at the end of the tunnel is here. Daddy Big Bucks wants us to turn Optimum Alfred evil. So we spray him with the superpowered drencher acquired by intimidating Emperor xxxxx into upgrading our weapon. All the locals are confused. Why would you do this, Pooh? Why would you spray Optimum Alfred? Well, of course, Daddy told me to. Well, apparently Alfred knew all about the show all along, and he wants us to get him rebuilt by Tristan so we can take down Big Bucks together. Well, turns out Alfred is a traitor, turns on us and tells everyone that it was just a show and we were in on it all along. Well, here I am, back in jail again, and we've got two choices. Okay, Daddy, just let me out, or I'm not your pawn. The first choice, we have to be friendly with 3 people, convince them that it isn't a TV show, and pay off Alfred so he frigs off out of Strange Town. The ending of this is a weird cutscene with a cruise ship. I'm not entirely sure what is going on. I'll just let you watch it. The second option, I'm not your pawn. We can destroy all the security cameras in town, and there's a separate cutscene where Daddy Big Bucks gets abducted by xxxxx because he wasn't the star of the show. I'll let you watch it. what a tedious game. Don't get me wrong, there are some really funny parts of this game. Some things that stand out for me are massaging Bigfoot's feet. That is certainly one of them. And also, when you kill all the aliens with the water gun, why is there so many of them? I don't think they hurt you. I think you just spray them. But the way you socialise with the locals is enough to make me never want to replay this game. It's so much RNG, and I think I got the hang of it in the end. I didn't. And it's so difficult to make money in this game. The mini games aren't money makers at all. There's Keel Hauling, that same card game we play in DS, and the Chop Shop where I think it's illegally scrap car parks or something, and the mowing game and you collect cow dung. They're all fun, but I'm not sure how you get promoted, so I didn't earn much from them. And the lack of money in the game was one of my main issues. But I ended up getting most of my money from picking up trash and hoping it regenerated. But maybe I was playing it wrong though. Having to use a walkthrough made me sad. Tasks weren't that straightforward to me. And it requires you to make lots of money. I also got the nuclear plant and the factory mixed up for the majority of the time. But maybe The Sims 2 for Game Boy is just far too clever for little old me. The concept of Strange Town being a TV show and Bella Goth watching it is just so funny, and the Strange Town vibes are still present in this game. I was playing this in bed at 2 AM and the music made me feel so uneasy, and areas of the map just seem so abandoned, like that damn area, and the random ice house with the toilet in it, and it was even made to look as though there was once a lot of life here. And the bar, I didn't even know it was a bar. I thought it had explosives in it. And the warehouse, what is even going on here? Like, when Kent Hackett fills it full of nuclear rods and we get a light bit of nuclear poisoning. More I say parts of this story out loud, the more insane I feel. Although it's made similar to the herbs and the busting out for the Game Boy Advance, the map seems small and disjointed, and the way you had to socialise made me not want to talk to the townies, as you might lose your sanity and have nothing to show for it. Whilst researching the game, I came across an article about it. We've since learned that half of this game didn't get made. Looking at the code, there are remnants of many of the other episodes that are unfinished. Maybe that explains it. Unfortunately, this was meant to be a very character-driven game, but the characters that come from previous games are often out of character. The ones that were introduced in this game are undeveloped, and the best you get is a couple of funny jokes. Looking on the wiki, we can see that the episodes that could have been, such as Giuseppe was framed. Giuseppe's in jail, charged with a disastrous crime he claims he didn't commit. Can you find the guilty party and restore dignity to the city? Cult of personalities. A secret society wants to welcome your sim into the fold. Follow a mysterious stranger's instructions to get into this select group. More birds. Penguins attack the town in a nod to Hitchcock. Misty-eyed party. Misty finds herself plagued with bad luck as she fails to send out a chain email. See if you can shift her luck and get her birthday party back on track. And these are just a few. There's also an unused cutscene with Dusty Hogg in it. So there's supposed to be an episode called Shark Jumping. The player takes on the role of Dusty Hogg in his quest to make the ultimate jump. And there's a big cutscene that's unused. The cutscene of Dusty Hogg and his motorcycle jumping over a shark pool. This is a reference to the Happy Days episode of Hollywood Part 3, where the character Fonzie jumps over a confined tiger shark while riding on water skis. Since then, the phrase "jumping the shark" has been used in the public lexicon to denote the moment where a series writer has run out of ideas, or denote that the series as a whole is declining in quality. Well, wow, that's it. Kind of says it all. It's a shame we never got to see that. I'm not sure how I feel about this game now. I would have loved to see a few more episodes, especially including some of the classic favourites. To go to the effort of making that big fat cutscene of Dusty Hogg, it does make me sad. It's also a shame that we couldn't see that full statue erected of Peppa Pig. Like, why is there a statue of him? And there's not much information, is there? I do have a lot to say about this game, considering I say I didn't enjoy it that much. Thou dost protest too much. As I mentioned before, there's also a chapter that can only be unlocked if you're fortunate enough to have a poor old friend who also has the Sims 2 Game Boy Advance, and you link up your Game Boys. This episode is like a reunion episode. There's a video on YouTube that you can check out. I'll whack the link in the description if you're interested. All in all, it is an interesting game. I love the show concept and seeing Daddy Big Bucks again, but the start music will forever give me PTSD. Maybe my standards were too high from playing on the herbs for the GBA. Who knows, maybe I will revisit it if I knew what the heck was going on. How did the people not know they were on the telly when there's those big ass cameras? But I guess that's quite fitting with the theme of Strange Town. The Sims 2 for PlayStation Portable. We start off in a similar way that we do in the DS. The car's damaged in, who would have guessed, Strange Town again, as a flying diamond just flew past our character, causing us to lose control of our car. Some fella, Oscar Del Fuego, has agreed to fix it for us. I miss you, Jeb. This guy is horrible. So we go into the service station while we're waiting for it to get fixed. And who do we happen to see here but an old friend, Mambo Lower? Wait. Mambo Lower from the herbs? Well, you look different. What the hell? Well, you're still a queen nevertheless, but what is going on? She gives us an aspiration test and tells us our star signs based on the answers we give her. Right, so unlike the other ports, we do actually have needs in this game, so I guess our sanity is the fullness of that diamond above our head. I know it has a name, but I can't be bothered finding out what it is. As I've found out that as soon as that's empty, your sanity is empty, you get sent to an institute. It costs you 500 simoleons. And if you don't have the money, don't worry, because you're now in debt. There are also some weird needs like having a headache, needing to vomit, and being in debt. So just the run-of-the-mill Sims game, right? Well, you could say that. Back to the story. Bella Goth makes an appearance in this game, and we have to chat to her to gain a secret. The way we socialise in this game is very similar to the way that we socialise in the other ports. As you can see, here it's like a little mini game for like hand-eye coordination or something like that, and it gets more and more difficult the more friendship you've got. Mambo, she now wants us to flirt with Bella to get an intimate secret and forces her to buy something from a shop. Fine. So we exit the service station. The garage that was mending our car has exploded or something. Okay. And Oscar and our car are nowhere to be seen. Bloody hell, the day I'm having. Only in Strange Town, eh? Well, there's just like a mobile phone ringing on the floor. Fine, let's pick it up and see what's going on. Oh, hello, Dr. Newlow. Oh, you're offering me a job? Great. Okay, let's go then. So we get the deputy to give us a ride for some donuts that we found in the bin. Bella sells us her mansion for whatever we have in our pocket. What a turn of events in this day and age. The housing crisis, got a house, got a job, that easy, must be my lucky day. We get to Paradise Place. This is our neighbourhood in Strange Town. We discovered Strange Town is built on top of a graveyard, and there's a weird graveyard in the circle in the middle of the town. So weird. It's like a roundabout for gravestones. Entering our weirdly empty house, we meet Emily, our maid, who's waiting on us hand and foot. So naturally we check out the joint. There are literally 2 ghosts here. I'm not even joking. I shit myself. There's one bloke named Dennis and another named Nervous Subject. But enough of that, we've got missions to complete. We do a couple of chores for our neighbours, Roland, and in the course of events we find out that his girlfriend is a murderer. So we say to Roland, listen mate, you've got to get out of there, otherwise you're going to suffer the same fate. So he gets out the bath and runs off. Next quest, we go to the Beaker's house. They tell us to piss off basically. But they've taken the bin man captive, so we rescue him. Lovely. Anyway, we go see that bloke who's offered us the job, sell him some secrets, and then he teleports away and disappears because he's a mad scientist or something. Goes by Dr. Dominion now. Look at the state of him in his secret lair. And then he just frigs off again. We befriend the robot woman, Roberta Rosen. What a girl. She wants us to hack into Dr. Dominion's PC in a secret layer and get some program called the Liberator.exe. Once that's done, Dr. Dominion is now controlling our mind and make us do stuff. We give Roberta a cow statue and say newspaper waiter trousers. And the absolute love of our life, Roberta. She doesn't explode, but she frigs off, and I guess her body parts are scattered around. I can't believe they made us become her soulmate and she's gone. We end up in the next neighbourhood called Dead Tree. It's a weird barren ghost town with weird heavy fog, ghost-like weird stuff going on. But it's got a lively saloon with plenty of inhabitants in. But we're looking for Roberta's body parts and they're in such random places. And like even in this graveyard there's all zombies and the jump scares, and I get why this game is 12 plus now. We can find everything but a head. And why is Ophelia from the PC game here? Turns out that meeting house was left to her in her mum's will. Okay. Remember Roland? We told him to jump out of the bath and run away from his wife. Well, his girlfriend, his wife to be. Well, here he is. Joined part of the cow cult. So we've got to infiltrate that cult. Taser the local waitress Annie as she is a werepug. Okay, slay again. Right, let's head to the library, and who else but another old friend from the Herbs, Lincoln Broadsheet. But wait, he doesn't have the wheelchair anymore. So apparently Roberta's husband made him the belt so he can float. Technology is just amazing. Well, he wants us to find out about this woman, Virginia Fang. Well, turns out she is a vampire, and also turns us into one too, which literally made my life hell for a while. Oh, it's like deja vu. We go to Mambo Lower and she gives us the cure for vampirism, just like in the Herbs. But unlike last time, no Chucky is needed. Here we are at the Kind cult again. We make a new statue and get some cowpat incense called cowpori and do a ritual called the Beazle Beef. I guess we summon some kind of cow demon, and it's bloody massive and scary, and there's a big fat cutscene, and good old Dr. Dominion was actually the cult leader and steals Beazle Beef away. What is going on? What is going on? Oh.
Yeller. Ah.
Right now we've unlocked Division 47. There are aliens, the Smiths, the Grunts, and the Curious family, all from the PC game. It is mad here. I kid you not, I did not have a clue where to go for so long, but I eventually made it down to the barracks. And see, they have the Smith family living down there. Apparently the Grunts and the Smiths were neighbours from the PC game, and they made them live in the barracks for some reason. But I guess we're the generator here now, and oh my god, the Smiths are so minging. Look how dirty their toilet is. So, Mr. Smith. Is his first name Mr.? God bless him though, look at him in his retired in his holiday outfit. Well, he wants us to go and get his photo album from his days in space back. So we do that, but not even a thanks. Johnny wants us to make him a fake ID so he can escape. Okay, slay. Pregnant and had a baby, which got stolen by the men in black, but I think they're called the dudes in black. I guess you want us to do that too for you. Get your kid back, fine. We get a call from Roberta's husband, and no, at this point I will not learn what his name is. He tells us Dr. Dominion's password is, I guess it's orangutan, but for an A. Oh, what? Where do we type this? I don't know. I guess I'll just clip through this wall here. Okay. We have to pretend that we're Dr. Dominion to the computer, and we gain access to the teleporter. We head off to the monument for the final face-off. He says a load of things about the Sims being controlled, which is kind of funny, and it's kind of breaking the fourth wall and things like that. So we have to pull this big thing off that big fat cow and pull Roberta ahead just there. So we have to hack into her head and free her, but I guess that's completed now. I guess that's the end of the story.
Here.
And we see Oscar next to our car, which is still broken down. You just can't bloody get the staff these days. Well, that was bloody fun. That game was so unexpectedly good, especially because I was so let down by the Game Boy Advance version. From the quirky music and the characters to the mini games. You can line dance. I love this, you can line dance. And worshipping the cow cult. Yeah, they're pretty basic mini games, but I'm basic. There are also other mini games like Whack-A-Zombie and the Yeti thing. I don't know how to do that. And I think talking to the other Sims and gaining skills is classed as a mini game, but that's more of mashing buttons. But it is a really fun game and didn't feel like a chore at all. But it's interesting to uncover some Sims lore from discovering the inhabitants' secrets. For instance, Lincoln Broadsheet, he lost the use of his legs in a freak stapler accident and was barred from practicing journalism in Minneapolis for his crazy ideas. Tank wanted to go into ballet, but his father forced him into the military. Jenny Smith's feet are actually flippers, but she paints them to look like real feet. Pollination Tech 9, Mr. Smith, really thinks his human disguise is working. They're just a few of those secrets, but I'll let you check them out for yourself. Although like the other ports, which are eerie and haunting, the PSP version is goofy and self-aware. For instance, the conversations that we're having regarding Dennis's death was a result of a ladder being removed, and Dr. Dominion's final speech about how the Sims being controlled by someone, as in us, the player. In a way, the self-awareness of the game is almost fitting from Strange Town. And it kind of makes you feel weird. You want to immerse yourself into a game, not realise that you're in your 20s playing a life simulator which is almost 2 decades old at 2 AM on a Saturday night. Quit breaking the fourth wall, it's making me feel weird. There's also something strange about the soundtrack too. Like the songs be slapping, but they'll only play like 20 seconds off them and it'll be silence. And then just howls from wolves and owls hooting. Which again, that adds to the eeriness. There are also certain bits where the werepug shows up and it plays scary music and you crap yourself, which is... keeps you on your toes, doesn't it? Sadly, this game isn't perfect. I do think the game was really short and easy to play. It just can't win with me, can you? Moan about anything. There isn't really much to do once you've completed the main story, except max out your skills and play the mini games and discover all the secrets, but once you've finished the story, I guess that's kind of boring. Also, the game crashed on me a couple of times and I didn't save it and had to play it again, but I guess that's a me problem. I've also got these funny reviews from parents. I have a PSP. Gave it 1 star. Boring. What a rip-off. It was $50. I guess it's American. Boring. What a rip-off. It was $50 and I spent it all on this boring game. One more thing. Never buy this. Let's see what Parent Care 999 had to say about the game. They gave it 5 stars. What parents should know about Sims 2. I think that Sims 2 PSP is violent but agreeable for kids above 17. It is not agreeable for kids under 16. Here are some of my final thoughts about this. Apart from the Game Boy Advance game, I enjoyed all the games. It's amazing to think how much work went into making 3 completely different games for each console. I'm so grateful for all the staff who pulled off creating these games. But they really don't make games like they used to. If you want to give any of these games a try, you should download an emulator, get to it, pop on eBay, get to it. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you for indulging me in my current obsession. Give us a like and subscribe if you liked what you saw. I'm just starting out on here, and the amount of interaction I got from my deep dive into the herbs made me so happy, and to see that the game had such an impact on other people's lives brought a little tear to my eye. This was my first time playing on any of these games, so let me know in the comments if you played on any of these games in your childhood or now. And if you did you also hate that Game Boy Advance version as well? I will never play that game again. Thanks again for watching, and you know what they say, something borrowed, something blue, something old, something new. Good night.